issues are so complex, but then that doesn't stop people that are focused on achieving their own goal. You know, on the way to success, you will always find several oppositions. You will find distractions. The youth organization in the Niger Delta, the IJAW Youth Council, IYC, has told BIAFRA and ODUDUWA secessionists to leave the IJAW nation out of what they call their utopian republics. Chairman IYC Transition Implementation Committee, Kennedy Olorogun, said this on behalf of the organization on Saturday. According to him, the IJAW nation does not need to be annexed to other imagined ethno-national territories. He said the IJAW nation is currently confronted with a renewed quest for nationalism within the Nigerian geopolitical arrangement. Olorogun noted that the situation in the country may have compelled other tribes, groups, and ethnic nationalities in the country, such as the ODUDUWA and various movements championing the Biafran cause, to renew their agitation for separate states. He said while the IJAW nation is not adverse to the cause of these groups, the forced annexation and fraudulent withdrawing of the geographical boundaries of the IJAW territories into their dream nations would no longer be tolerated. In their words, they said, "We are seizing this medium to inform the promoters and sponsors of the ODUDUWA and Biafra republics that they should not include IJAW territories in their acclaimed nations. The IJAWs are domiciled in Ondo State, Edo State, Delta, Bayelsa, Rivers, Akwa Ibom State, and are prominently residents in all the states of the Niger Delta." He said that in this wise, the ODUDUWAs and Biafra secessionists should count IJAW territories out of their utopian republics. IJAWs are capable of governing themselves. In this vein, the IJAW nation is watching the unfolding events within the Nigerian polity, and at the fullness of time, the IJAW nation will state their position. Now, you see that there are a lot of complexity. Although we need to be very clear, a group does not necessarily speak the mind of the people in totality. I understand that there are several ethnic groups that we can actually call a big tribe, but they've kind of split here and there, such as the IJAW tribe. They are a tribe. They are split here and there. You find them in Ondo State, Edo State, like they stated, Delta, Bayelsa, Rivers, Akwa Ibom, and prominently, like they said, in Niger Delta region, if that Niger Delta is accepted. Now, a lot of people have said the term Niger Delta is just something to, it's just a coin, you know, it's a name, a term to divide further the Biafrans. This is where I find it complex. It is not possible for you to bring together people that are not ready to be with you. It's not possible. If the IJAWs claim that they need to be by themselves and they are not ready to be together as a nation with Biafra, and they want to have their own brothers and sisters even when they do not speak the same language, because the IJAWs in Ondo, the IJAWs in Delta State, the IJAWs in every of these states may not necessarily speak the same language, understand the same language. Probably they share some cultures that might be related, but I don't think they speak the same language. So it's going to be difficult for them to even relate together. That is why people need to come together. We have to get past this language barrier and some other, let us see ourselves as humans. With this, it is more beneficial for the group of criminals that are running the nation as it is to continue to oppress, because these little of groups here and there, forming here and there, are not ready to break apart. They are comfortable with the structure of things. They do not agree with Biafra. They do not agree with IPOB. They do not agree with any other group. Every group wants to have its own nation. I know that there are some countries abroad, in Europe, for example, that speak the same language. They share the same cultural value. And with this, they're able to stay together. Aside the European Union, where each nation is a nation by itself, but what they've agreed on is trade and movement. But that, and of course, people can live in their, live your own country, go to another place to live. But that does not strip you of who you are and of your own country. And there is a law that everyone needs to obey. In Nigeria, it is not so, as politics, religion, tribe is the major. And this is only a game played by many of these criminals that call themselves politicians. Some of them are religious leaders. Some of them are monarchs. They actually play this game on some unsuspecting, gullible citizens who embrace this, fight themselves, whilst they continue to loot the nation. I do not know why the IJAW Youth Council will not at this moment begin to think of how they are going to break apart and call their brothers and sisters in all of the states together so they can stand in solidarity as one. Something must have made them leave that location that they used to be, and they begin to go here and there. Probably they are fishermen. Of course, they are not herdsmen, fishermen, or they are involved in some other kind of businesses and they have to move from one point to the other. That's what I know IJAW people are known for. I think it's time for them to come together. It's not a crime if they need to have their own nation. Where are they going to have this nation? It's not a crime. If they want to, they can. Just like how people want to break away from Nigeria. But what I find a problem here is their inability to see the light, to see what other people are pursuing. Rather than them coming to say, we are not part of this, don't cut us, don't add us to your own region here and there. I understand that they are also, one way or the other, trying to do their own thing here and there. We hear the Niger Delta this, Niger Delta that, and all of that. I believe that they should do more. I believe that they should speak in one voice. It is all about going back to what it used to be. I'm not talking of region. Region was also, mapped out somehow. I'm talking about kingdoms. It's not a crime if kingdoms want to stay together. For example, you find the United Kingdom. That's what it's called. Different kingdoms coming together. Even right now, they're having problems too. Because everyone wants to be autonomous. People want to stay by themselves and do what they believe is right for themselves, rather than allowing a major tribe here and there, muscle over them. I understand this. But is there a way, rather than breaking into pieces, is there a way that people can, tribes, or let's say ethnic groups, can come together, say the same thing, have a common understanding, a law that every one of them will obey, so as to forge ahead, rather than what we have now? What we have now, I do not see progress. I do not see progress with the way the young youth in these groups are speaking. Their leg is one leg in, one leg out. They are not totally out. They are not speaking the message of we are breaking apart totally. Their leg is into politics of Nigeria. If we have the opportunity to stay in, let's stay in here and get something out of it. Or if they do not want to give us anything, we threaten them by saying we want to leave. This is not right. So the IJAW Nation or the IYC group, they should understand that the future of the children that they are going to give birth to is at stake if they do not do the right thing. They should do the right thing. I know a lot of people come and say it was Biafra. No, Biafra, some might say, never existed initially, and some might say it was created at a particular period, at a particular time. But whatever it is, either the name Biafra, either not Biafra, I believe that they should all come together, have a common understanding, and understand that they have a common enemy. And I'm not talking of just the Hausa Fulani alone. They themselves are enemies to themselves. A common enemy. And that enemy is the inability for people to have a common understanding, create a law that works, create a structure that works. Corruption. These are the common enemies. No one chooses where to be born into. People get themselves in a location, they find themselves there. It is either you change the situation around you or you keep on with it. This is complex. I don't know what you think, because if you speak to an IJAW man, he might say, no, I don't want to become part of Biafra. I don't want to become part of ODUDUWA. I don't want to become part of this. I want to stay as my own country. Let us talk about this. Do you think the IJAWs should have their own country, or they should come together wherever region they found themselves over time, learn the culture, the language and everything? If it is in the southwest or in the southeast, they should come together and break away with the larger tribe and form a nation for themselves.